This week we're going to talk about planting progress and weather trends here in the U.S. We're going to look at crop progress and weather trends in Brazil. We're going to come back and look at export trends here in the U.S. and wrap things up with the long-term review of December corn futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the corn market. We've moved into the last part of April here, and of course it's time to plant corn in the U.S. Let's take a look at national corn planting progress as of Sunday. We're looking here at 11% completed as of Sunday. That compares to 11% last year, but it's slightly above the 9% for the 5-year average. Notice a couple states in the Midwest are above average. That includes Illinois and Indiana, as well as Ohio. Let's now take a look at the recent history of corn planting progress. We're looking here again, 11% done. Now, if we look at the next 2 weeks, on average, approximately 25% of the U.S. corn is planted between April 19th and May 3rd. So, weather permitting, we should be around 35% or so by that first week of May. Speaking of weather, let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. We're starting out this week looking at the past precip percent of normal over the last 14 days. Quite a bit of variability there. As you further go west, quite dry. Up in the northern areas, dry, but in the far north, up in the northern plains, a bit wet. Across the heart of the Corn Belt, parts of eastern Iowa, particularly southern Wisconsin, parts of Michigan are quite wet. Then as you move down to the eastern Corn Belt, it's drying out, and particularly dry in the southeast. Let's take a look at the near-term forecast. Starting out here, looking for some rain around Thursday and Friday of this week. Basically, it's going to be kind of scattered, maybe a 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch over that green-colored area. Now, we're looking at a cooler temperature pattern setting up starting around Friday and continuing on into the weekend. Looking at the coolest temperatures up north there, not quite as cool as we move further south, but this pattern may continue for about 7 to 10 days. Let's look ahead to next week now. Rainfall patterns starting Sunday into Monday. It looks like it's going to be wetter. Look at that dark green area, anywhere from 1/2 to 1.5 inches. The lighter green area, maybe a 1/4 inch to 3/4 of an inch. So looks like it's going to be cooler and maybe a bit wetter this weekend. Let's take a look at rainfall totals now over the next 2 weeks. As you highlight here, quite a bit of light green on that map there, quite a bit of light yellow, which means it's going to be close to normal, maybe a bit wet in some areas over the next 2 weeks. So again, we'll see how corn planting progresses here near term. Let's shift gears now and focus on corn progress in Brazil. Let's take a look where that corn is produced in Brazil. Now this week we've highlighted Goiás, Paraná, and Mato Grosso do Sul. Farther south, that's about 40% of second season corn production. Now we look at crop progress here. On average, about 50% of the second crop corn is silking by April 20th. Notice this year we're about 44%, so right in line with the average. Again, we've emphasized this before, but rainfall does begin to taper off here quite a bit at the tail end of April, particularly into May. And we're starting to see that this year. As you wrap up our overview of Brazil, looking at the precip over the next 2 weeks, quite dry in those 3 states, Mato Grosso do Sul, Goiás, and Paraná. In fact, 59% of the safrinha corn is forecast to receive below normal precip over the next 2 weeks. So something we'll watch closely for you moving into early May. Let's shift gears now and look at export trends. Now, exports remain firm, about 32% higher than last year. However, the record U.S. corn crop continues to offset that record export pace, and ATI is forecasting carryout to increase by 48% this crop year. So that's why we continue to strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to get control of any remaining old crop corn bushels. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in December corn. December corn, as we tape here on Tuesday, has bounced back a bit, traded about $4.85 a bushel. Notice that potential for price volatility is quite high, both to the upside and to the downside between now and harvest. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 309-664-2300. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. Remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an update. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.